you ready? Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
This is the Raw Impact Unleashed.
The following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
All right, y'all. What's up? Welcome to this week's edition, episode 249. We went away from episode 250 of the Raw Impact Unleashed. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. 200.
Can't even introduce me tonight, goddammit. All right, my boy Cole over here
Well,
next
shit,
to me.
Yo,
what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. That's K double K. You know what's happening.
I would think that if they've been listening to us for 250 episodes, they should know.
That's the problem, Kevin. We ain't got no listeners. That's the thing. Like nobody listens to us since we came to Spreaker. So
we got three.
Yeah,
people
you, me, and Saint. We all associated with this goddamn program.
No, you can't put me in there. I haven't been going back and listening to our episodes.
So we got one listener now.
So we got one listener. we
me.
was up to 6 with the last episode.
Because I listened 2 or 3 times.
No, hell no.
Yeah, because I was like, listen to my sound effects, motherfuckers. And I was showing people our show, trying to get motherfuckers to actually listen to the fucking show.
Yeah.
So I hear you got a what?
I got a hot take. Oh man, I got a straight hot take. All right, so this hot take revolves around an article and interview in which Cole listened to the interview. I actually read a little bit of a transcript of the interview in an article about that John Moxley did with Talk Is Jericho after his release and debut at AEW Double or Nothing. And throughout the interview, he makes this point that part of his issue and part of the thing that made him kind of want to leave was that WWE, to an extent, stifled his creativity by force-feeding him scripts, not really allowing him to promo off of him. You know, and where in the story he wanted to tell, kind of stifled his creativity was basically the general point from the statement that I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now here's where my hot take comes from. This is something I've heard about from people after leaving WWE for decades now. Like I've been around for 40 years, and I want to say for a minimum half my life, I've heard people say this about WWE. That to an extent, outside of the Attitude Era, people are force-fed scripts, and especially during this PG era, the people are force-fed scripts. They're not really allowed to go off the hip like they were, like Stone Cold and The Rock and them were able to do, and Triple H were able to do during the Attitude Era. That pretty much they're given a script. They have to read from the script. They have to know the script. They have to say the script. And that he felt that this method. Now, where my hot take comes in is I'm sick and tired of hearing wrestlers when they leave WWE that have been with WWE less than a decade complain about this. You knew this going in. It's not like this was a big secret. It's not like this is a dark.
Why? Hold on. I just want to ask something. Why do you put a decade on it? Why do you say you got to be in WWE for 10 years?
Because I would say anybody prior to 10 years, may not have had the same idea coming into it because you were just coming off the Attitude Era where it wasn't really like that in the Attitude Era. They weren't fed scripts like that. So you're coming off of that and you're just learning to be a wrestler and you're just coming into the game and you make it to WWE. You may think you're going to get some of that same leeway that those top stars did in the Attitude Era because that's the way WWE runs, only to get slapped in the face with a script that now you must memorize and this is what you have to say and so on and so forth. So I could say longer than a decade, you might have been surprised when you first got there. But within the last decade, I don't see how you could have been. Like, because this has pretty much been the consensus thing coming out of WWE, basically since around the time, I'd say a little bit after the WCW merger. So somebody of Dean
2002?
Ambrose, yeah. So somebody of Dean Ambrose's stature, you knew going in, this is how WWE works. So to mention it as a reason why you left?
No.
Or to down the company for it?
No. He wasn't.
Maybe I misunderstood it. All right.
Okay. Check this out. He said, "This is."
You listen
the
to the
gist.
actual podcast.
The,
right?
Yeah.
So.
This is the gist of what he said. He said, "Let me tell a story my way, in my own way,
Right.
not as a character playing a character. He is that character himself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like Stone Cold is Stone Cold.
Right.
There's nobody that can play Stone Cold because Stone Cold is Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, right.
So Dean Ambrose is Dean Ambrose in that sense. And he's saying, okay, let me tell the story my way, not give me all these dumbass gimmicks and this dumb shit that I wouldn't do, or a lunatic as Dean Ambrose, that character itself wouldn't do. Yeah. But you got me doing all this dumb shit, and I'm telling you, this is not the way. And the script, he's like, the script is the story where he wanted a story in the script. There was no story there. Right, you know what I'm saying? He was just doing dumb shit all the time.
Right.
And he said, if you just want somebody to come in and read lines and do dumb shit, get an actor. Yeah. I'm a professional wrestler. I cut promos. I wrestle in the ring. I know how to cut a promo. Been doing it for 17, 18 years. Right. And he went on to say when he went to AEW that night, right? When he dropped Omega off the fucking chips and the lights went out and the show was over, he went backstage, and within 10 minutes backstage, he had cut 3 promos.
Yeah.
With Cody and the Young Bucks and all them. They all collaborated and came up, was like, hey, you want to cut this promo right here? What about if you throw this in there? Oh, hell yeah, that's good. Let's shoot it.
Right.
Didn't care about the lighting. Didn't care about take 2, 3, 4, 5. Just do your job. And that's what he did. And he was like, man, it was awesome. And fucking, there's 2 that's already dropped that's out there. And one's going to drop, either today or tomorrow on their YouTube channel. Yeah. Right? So on the AEW YouTube shit. But anyway, he was like, it was like, I'm not there to do dumb shit. I'm there to tell stories and actually get other people get over myself and see how far we can go with being creative and all this, not just doing dumb gimmick shit.
Does he explain the difference between when he was on the main roster versus NXT? Because I would have to think NXT is sort of similar. So this is where my point comes in, that it's not like this was a big surprise that this was what they were. This is the type of shit creative would do with you. You know what I'm saying? Not to say he didn't get the Shield wasn't a cool gimmick.
Look. We didn't go all the way back to NXT and starting in WWE and going. We got into 6 years after this shit, and I'm just trying my heart out to get them to change, to get them to do something better and different, and Vince won't do it. Okay. Like he's like, and that's 6 years. So for 2 years, he was there for 8. Right. So for 2 years, he tried his damnedest to get them to do good shit. Like let me do this. Let me, let's rewrite this little script here. Let's tweak this. Let's do this. And Vince is just shutting him down completely.
Right. And understand. My beef isn't, this is where I started off the statement saying, my beef isn't directly with him. It's this image that comes out that people put out once they leave WWE. And the problem I have with it is that the image that they put out is the same image the people before them that came in, went to WWE and left WWE put out, the people before them. So you can't tell me, being a pro wrestling fan, this information didn't disseminate down in his ears prior to coming to WWE.
Of course he knew how it was, and of course, all of us think we could change the place we work at. You know what I'm saying? Or help it. Or help it. Not necessarily change it, but help it.
Yeah.
And his point was Vince's way, and their creative way with their 17 writers and all this. Like he gave he gave a thing. You remember when he turned on Rollins, right? And then the Raw after that, he had like 6 spots, and then him and Rollins got together and fought at the end of the Raw.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he said those 6 spots was 6 different writers. 3 of those motherfucking promos was live, and 3 of them was pre-taped, and he had to run all the way around the arena to find these motherfuckers to do these spots. And it wasn't like one take and done,
right?
Except on the live shit, of course. But on the other shit, they wanted to keep running it because the lights were fucked up, or somebody walked in the background, or some bullshit. Just something. We got to do it over. So something that should take 30 seconds ends up taking 15, 20 minutes, and he can't prepare for the next one because he's got to do it right now, and it's live, so just go. Yeah. You know what you're talking about, right? And he's like, no, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And he's like, he ended up getting talked into saying that chemo line about Roman Reigns. Remember when he jumped up on the big, the Titantron or whatever you want to call it, and he's talking to Seth, and he's like, these people are a disease. Roman got the disease from these people, and it was to the nature of talking about his leukemia.
Right.
And he was trying and pleading not to do this line, and Vince McMahon, he said Vince McMahon used the Jedi mind trick on him.
Yeah.
And he was like, the way Vince said it, it didn't sound so bad. So I went out there and I said it, and as soon as I said it, I realized he got me. And Jericho's sitting there like, yeah, he's got me a few times too. like because even Jericho, fucking 28-year veteran, fucking still, worked in WWE for 18 years, and that's why he's not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's 18 years, Kevin. You was talking about, give me 10. Why I put 8 more on that for you? Chris Jericho was agreeing with everything. He was like, yeah, I've tried it over and over again. And Jericho's the same way, and he's like, it's not gonna. And both of them, and just like us and everybody else, like, and Dean Ambrose wanted to say this is not a negative interview. Like, I appreciate the name I got from there and everything from there and all this, but he was like, they're creative, they're doing it wrong, and there's better ways to do it.
Well,
and that's all he was saying. That's all he was saying. And he wasn't bitching like, fuck Vince McMahon, fuck that shit, fuck WWE, fuck all that shit. I don't even like them motherfuckers at all. Like, fuck all the boys in the back. He wasn't saying none of that.
Okay, well, no, and that's not what I think he was saying.
But he did have a little attitude towards Vince for being so damn stubborn. So yes, he did have that, because anybody would. Right. You got a guy there that's like, dude, I'm trying to help you make more billions than you can fucking possibly ever spend. Yeah. You're going to die in the chair. And he said that. He's like, Vince is going to die in the chair. Yeah. He ain't going to let nobody take over to actually, fucking improve the situation.
Yeah. Well, and okay, I go back to, I'm not saying that anybody, like I said, it's not, my point isn't them bringing it up. My point isn't them discussing it. My point is, it's like, okay, I'll give a very, I'll call this a horrible example. I'll give this a very bad example. It's like, I go to work 3 hours a day, right? And I serve kids lunch every fucking day, right? Some of them are grateful, some of them are some ungrateful little bitches, you know? But it'll be like, if I went to work every day for the next 10 years at the school district, then one day I decided, you know what, I'm done with this shit. Don't want to deal with it no more. I leave. And people are like, well, why'd you leave? Well, fuck them kids. Well, man, them kids was little badasses. Them kids was this. Or let's do a more direct comparison. Like I said, that was a bad comparison. Let's do a more direct comparison. I'm like, well, shit, it was a lot of work. I had to run around this kitchen cooking food and fucking serving it to these kids. Well, damn, nigga, you knew that before you started the job. It was literally in the job description. How you gonna bitch about it now that you're done and say that's the reason why you left? You should have never took the job in the first place. If at the end
No,
of
no,
the
no,
day
no,
you
no.
gonna say,
And see,
you gonna
but
say,
see,
you
but
gonna
see,
say,
this is
hey,
where
this
this is where you're
why, you
wrong.
know,
This is where you're wrong. Right. Check this
Yeah.
out. This is where you're wrong because Dean Ambrose was coming in to tell actual stories and shit, right?
Yeah.
To actually tell a story, not go out there and do little gimmicky shit that doesn't actually tell any type
And
of
he was
story.
right for that. And he was right for
And
that.
that's what I'm saying. That's you saying, okay, I got this job. I'm a cook. I serve food, right? Cook, serve food.
Right.
Well, now you got to cook, serve food, wash dishes, and take orders.
Yeah.
That's why Dean Ambrose is fucking pissed because he didn't sign up for a bunch of other shit that ended up.
But he knew that they were going to control his character and that creative was going to be telling him what to do, correct? Like, because what I'm basically saying, what my basic point is that WWE creative
No.
has been
They said
for a long time. It's not like it's been a hidden fact that WWE
No.
creative
He even mentioned ever since Vince bought WCW, it's been fucked.
Yeah. And so I'm
and
like,
Jericho agreed. Jericho was like, yeah, everything changed because that's when Vince brought in all of his motherfucking minions, all of his creative people, and was like, this is the circle, this is the round table.
But and here's the thing about it: Dean Ambrose had John Moxley had every legit reason. How many times on this show do we say, "What the fuck are they doing with his character?" Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Like so many times I can't even count. We said on this show. So every reason that he gave was legit. Where my hot take came from was just he's like
but the thing was, he was just tired of it. He was just tired of it. He got exhausted from doing it. Like, he's a professional wrestler, and yes, that was the main stage, the biggest stage that you could get to. It's not anymore. But with that said, that's your ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
whether you know you're the fry cook or the dishwasher, eventually you want to move up. Right. You don't want to just stay there. You know, you want to continue to move up. So you go from the indies to a bigger promotion, then you go to the main promotions, which is WWE and AEW at this point. Yep. Those are the top money guys right now. So when you get to WWE and it's like, fuck, man, I love wrestling and I love what I do, but they don't do it right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick around and I'm going to see what I can do if I can improve it. And I'm going to see how long I can actually deal with this bullshit.
Yeah. And that's the difference between me and most people. Is that in today's society, with what emanates out of WWE,
and most people is doing it just so they can get a good payday,
right?
So they can go back to the indie, you know, make a decent name for themselves in WWE in a couple of years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then go back to the indies and actually get paid respectively on the indies and not have to deal with the bullshit. So you got to deal with the bullshit with the money, but not now with AEW. You ain't got to deal with the bullshit.
AEW, but not just AEW. You got Lucha Underground out there. Impact Wrestling, although they're not competition for WWE, you can still go there and make a name for yourself. Same thing with ROH and New Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like there are so many other options nowadays. And I agree with you that back then there wasn't shit. Like I said, there was a reason why there was WCW and WWF.
But still, you're getting a 500,000 view rate here and there for this shit, and when you get WWE pay-per-views, you're getting 4 to 5 million. So you can't say that you ain't making a bigger name at WWE.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that.
So I'm not saying look at Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin. This motherfucker, he just came to Impact from Japan, New Japan, and he was in ROH before that, and he bounced, I believe, into TNA before it became fucking Impact, you know what I'm saying? Like back, it was when Dixie still had it, but I think he might have came in a couple of times during his ROH when they were doing the crossover ROH Impact thing.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker, he's on top of the world, just like Kenny Omega. Like, yeah, Kenny Omega did go to FCW or whatever for Florida Championship Wrestling for WWE, but he didn't make no name there. You know what I'm saying? He came out and made his name on the indies. You can do that. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
with AJ Styles,
but that's
Joe,
the thing.
all
But
made their mark well before being big stars.
But that's the same thing with John Moxley. John Moxley got hot, and WWE snatched him up at his hottest.
Triple H.
And now he's white hot. He's as hot as he can fucking possibly be.
Amen. Amen to that, bro. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, people who are listening, do not get me wrong. I am probably one of the biggest fans of John Moxley / Dean Ambrose, Dean Moxley, whatever.
People wanted to know why he left, and he was like, "I'm tired of this shit." Plain and simple.
Like I said,
plain and simple. I've made my money. It ain't about the money no more. It's about me being tired of the shit. And Vince McMahon said that he had creative license, and he's sitting there like, I don't, because you stopping every creative thing I've ever tried. Like, so it's like you saying one thing, but you not giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, I'm done. I want to be free. Yeah. It's like Friday, well, motherfucker. The 3 o'clock bell rings and you out of school. This is, oh my God, that's the best feeling in the world.
Well, the reason why I say that is that he's one of those special talents that could have been an AJ Styles, that could have been a Samoa Joe, and completely made a name for himself before ever stepping foot in WWE. Triple H probably made him a hell of a. No, I'm talking about like AJ Styles is a fucking megastar. If he wouldn't have came in
WWE 8 years ago,
yeah. I think by now WWE would have been begging him to come in the door.
Yes. Yes.
You know, like he's.
And I'm pretty sure he would have had a lot more creative control than he had while he was there.
Yeah, because he came in under their product through NXT and basically sold his soul to them without knowing that that's what he was doing. You know, like, and came up through NXT and did his thing and became a megastar. But I just imagine how much more of a global icon he would have been had he stayed out and done the New Japan.
We about to find out. We about to find the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, but unfortunately, and this is where I'm going to bring in some outside sports. The Kevin Durant story, I kind of understand one aspect of it as much as I deferred most of it away. I do understand that people have a right to look at things however they want. And a lot of people aren't going to remember that he was hot and a big thing before WWE. A lot of his fan base now is going to remember him from being Dean Ambrose, and that sucks because he had so much more.
That's a totally different. AEW is a totally different fucking crowd, bro.
Yeah,
this is indie. This is indie rules. These are, it's not this. It's fucking hood slam. Leave your fucking kids at home rules,
and it's
going
to be that for now. But the bigger they get and the bigger the arenas they play, the more like WWE they're going to be forced to become. Because in order to get more of that casual market, you can't stay that. That's where WCW fucked up. Is that they didn't realize that in order to get that casual, WWE has something with what they do to gain the casual market. In order they're going to be able to do their own thing for about a decade. And if they haven't moved on from that by that point, they're going to stay second tier to WWE. And it sucks to say that because I want them to become that equal giant that forces WWE to become something fucking better than what they trot out every week. Because that's what WCW is what forced them to become something fucking better in the Attitude Era. So I want to see AEW succeed and get to that point. But there's going to come a point in which they're going to have to kind of climb that same WWE ladder to gain that casual audience. The audience right now is great. It's every fan that realizes everything that's wrong with WWE and everything that's right with AEW. But that's us hardcores. In order to gain those casuals, they're going to have to start looking
all I got to do is say, all I got to say right now is thank you, Sami Zayn. I love it. For motherfucking shouting out AEW on live motherfucking WWE TV.
Thank you for segueing. Because
this motherfucker right here was like, you could ask me anything. You could ask me about AEW. Oh my God, his face was great, man. Right there at that moment, the world should have paused and motherfucking Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre should have been playing and motherfucking Thug Life come across the screen and some sunglasses drop on his fucking head, bro. Like straight up, that was a Thug Life moment. Just the Thug Life meme moment right there. That's like Michael Jordan swishing in your face and just walking away blindfolded.
The only reason why I can't give the Thug Life moment is because I believe in my mind, I believe that was planned. I believe he was allowed to talk about AEW. Like, I don't believe it was something that he just did off the cuff, out of script, and did it because he wanted to shout out his homies. I think he was allowed to and told to talk about AEW. Because it's not the first time that it's happened on WWE TV.
What?
So speaking about AEW, yeah, he mentioned AEW, but if you remember during the Hall of Fame ceremony,
yes,
with
the
DX,
numbers,
mentioned,
the letters AEW was never said.
Yes, true.
And from that moment forward, it was referred to by every WWE personnel as the Piss Ant Company.
And it will be. It will continue to be until they prove themselves.
No. It is officially AEW in WWE. Because they actually officially said it through Sami Zayn. Whether it was scripted or not, Sami Zayn, you are my fucking hero for saying it. Plain and simple. Sammy, you get the heat for it, and you get the praise for it. Vince McMahon or whoever wrote it or whatever, fuck that shit.
I don't think there's any heat. I think it's done on purpose.
No, I'm saying, whatever happens on that situation of Sami Zayn saying that, it ain't from the back. It ain't going to the back. Sami Zayn gets the praise. If you listen to me, I said heat or praise.
Yeah.
So
I
it
give
ain't
him all the praise in the world. Like I said, for me, it just didn't have as much impact. If it would be different.
It had so much fucking impact to me because fucking Corey Graves immediately started fucking talking while the crowd was chanting AEW. He fucking tried to drown them out and was speaking louder and louder and louder and louder as I am because he wanted to fucking drown them out. Sammy fucking did it on his own. Plain and simple.
I don't know.
See, you don't know. You owe me $20 because you said Dean Ambrose is going to return as John Moxley within a year. That shit ain't happening.
Clock is right twice a day. So what, nigga? I owe you $20. So what? I can be wrong from time to time. All I'm saying is that I don't buy it that was something that was done off the cuff. Like I can see, like I said, I just don't, because the bottom line is if it was done off the cuff, there would have been repercussions, immediate repercussions on Sami Zayn. And the fact that we've heard nothing about repercussions on him tells me that Vince was cool with it. Before he even said it, Vince was cool with it. I think Vince is cool with all of AEW because he doesn't see AEW as a threat. We do, because we see what the talent that's there. I don't think Vince is so delusional in his own fucking world. He does not see AEW as a threat. In his mind, I took down WCW. Impact was a thing for a minute and disappeared. ROH and New Japan always been there, and we still bigger. What the fuck's AEW gonna do? We know that they can do something, but in Vince's mind, he can probably give two shits about AEW. So I wouldn't put it past him to allow Sami Zayn to say it without repercussion and not really care about it.
All right, moving on. So can we actually talk about some motherfucking wrestling instead of motherfucking what people doing?
What you got to talk about? Like,
well,
I
guess the show's over, bro. Because I thought you had a sheet. Like I thought you read with. Okay, like.
Bro, if I remember correctly, you got mad at me about a running sheet every week. That's why I stopped sending them to you, and I stopped using them because the show is better without them. When we just talk about what's on our brain.
I thought you had a guideline, bro.
No.
Plain and simple.
I have no cheat sheet, no nothing. All the stuff that we talk about comes right off the top of my head.
All right. I'm just... Fuck it. Let's call it a night. Because I'm done. I'm not doing my show tonight because I'm exhausted. I got to fucking rest. So, early show. We had a good little argument there. Let's call it.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Peace.
So, the result, if he doesn't want to talk anymore, he doesn't have to talk anymore. But just because he's over doesn't mean the show's over. So, let's look at the AEW, lineup. AEW Double or Nothing. I didn't really get a chance to watch the pay-per-view, but I heard it was amazing. Of course, it ended with John Moxley coming out, knocking out Chris Jericho, knocking out Kenny Omega, doing its thing, and making his big AEW debut. So let's see. So yeah, it looks like we got a feud now between Kenny Omega and John Moxley, which is going to be great. Sorry, Google got confused. AEW Double or Nothing. No. Oh, man. Results. There we go. All right. Oh, it was total surprise to Jim Ross. So bravo to AEW, by the way, for keeping that under wraps and keeping things the way they were, right all the way up until the moment when he stepped out of there. Cole told me that I guess he signed his contract like hour 2 or whatever, multi-year contract, which is why Cole talks about me owing him $20. So it was a bet that we made live on there, and I'm gonna honor my bet. The next time I see him, I'll give him his $20. Let's see. So it was great matchups. Let's see. You had Adam Page won by eliminating the MJF on the 21-man Casino Battle Royal. The winner receives a future AEW World Championship shot, so Adam Page will receive a future championship shot. Kip Saban beat Sammy Guevara in a 10-minute singles match. Heard that one was pretty good. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we have a young man who's going to be doing another review of Double or Nothing probably next week on the show. All right, SoCal and Sister won their 6-man tag team match. That's Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. They beat Seema, T-Hawk, and Elimin, known as the Strong Hearts. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD defeated Nyla Rose, Kylie Ray, and Awesome Kong. Yes, that's right. Awesome Kong is back. So, Saint, you can go on ahead and be happy about that one. Let's see. Best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta defeated Angelico and Jack Evans. Both of them are solid wrestlers. So that was a 12-minute match. Like I said, we'll get more detail on that. I'm just giving you the results right now. Hikaru Shida and Ryo Ayabe and Ryu Mizunami defeated Asia Kong, Yuka, and Sakazi and Emi Sakura. Cody with Brandy Rhodes defeated his brother Dustin Rhodes, and what I heard was probably one of the match of the year candidates. So, like I said, I'm going to have to go back and watch that. And the Young Bucks, the champion Young Bunch, defeated the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix for the AAA Tag Team Championships. So, they retained. And then Chris Jericho defeated Kenny Omega and will face Adam Page in a future AEW World Championship match. So, that was a pretty good match. Or a pretty good lineup. Like I said, can't wait to watch it. Now let's take a look, before we wrap things up, at WWE Super Showdown. They did a lot of setup. They're doing some more setup, being that it's let's see. Let's see. All right, so Super Showdown matches. I'm going to give you my predictions real quick before we wrap this up. Let's see. Matches. All right, so you got Triple H taking on Randy Orton in like a really, really old grudge match that nobody really remembers, but they still decided to bring back anyway. I'll take Randy Orton probably no. I'll take Triple H just because Triple H is that dude that's just trying to get over on all the dudes that he didn't get over or did get over on or had feuds with during his time. He's going to ride his way out with victory. So Triple H there. 50-man Battle Royal, I don't know. I really don't know everybody that's competing. So I'll take Braun Strowman just because I figure he's somewhere in there and might have a chance to win. You got Goldberg versus The Undertaker. I'm thinking 2 old dudes in the ring kicking each other. I'll take Undertaker. Only because, according to what Cole was saying, there may be some stuff going on with Fox that they want Goldberg in a certain position, so he may get the victory here, but I'm still going to take Taker. Strowman versus Lashley, I'll take Strowman because Strowman is the dude that just needs to be being put over right now. Like, I'm tired of them not giving him what he deserves. Finn Balor and Andrade, I want to say Finn Balor is going to retain, but we'll see. Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon. Let's see. Shane got over on The Miz twice. I think there'll be some interference here, but Roman Reigns will end up getting the victory. I think that The Miz will interfere at some point, and Roman Reigns will end up getting the victory. But we'll see. Like I said, Shane has gotten over on The Miz twice. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. I don't expect Kofi to lose the belt at this moment. There's word has it that Brock Lesnar is going to be cashing in, so maybe he does after this match. But I just don't see Kofi dropping the belt to Ziggler. Like, Ziggler's putting on a hell of a show. It's getting on my nerves with that "it should have been me" bullshit, but he's playing a good heel. So if he's going to drop it, I just don't see it being to Dolph. But we'll see what happens. Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. I expect Rollins to win that match, but also, like I said, Lesnar planning on cashing in pretty soon. Hopefully, I could see him cashing in and winning that match. This will probably be a pre-show match. Lars Sullivan versus the Lucha House Party. I don't see Lars Sullivan taking his first loss in WWE in his first match. So I see Lars Sullivan probably destroying all three of the Lucha House Party and getting the pin. But we'll see. Like I said, I expect that to be a pre-show match, so that pick really doesn't count. But there you go. That's it for next Friday. Tune in to Super Showdown. We'll see. Cole's kind of doing his thing, so we'll see if there's a show of Raw Impact Unleashed. That's up to him. I promised you guys that we would talk about AEW and that we would talk about Super Showdown, so that's what I just did. Next week, tune in probably about 8 o'clock to Double K's Classroom as I talk MLB baseball, and I give Max Kellerman from First Take a little bit of my mind and see and tag him on Facebook, see what he has to say. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. There's been a short episode, but hopefully it's been a good one for you. Y'all have a great night. Peace.
So, what's up? Steve Fingerstyles here, the host of the podcast spelled DA, of course. Tune in each and every week to hear what pisses me off, what angers me, what I make fun of, and of course, my crazy rants. I also have incompetent co-hosts, cool guests, and a silent producer that sucks. So what more do you need from a podcast? You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and the Pod Bros Network. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Venice, and I've got a message from a friend of mine about my favorite podcast.
It's your boy, Flavor Flav in full effect. Check this out, everybody. I want y'all to go check out TJ.
What's good, everybody? TJ Johnson here for Voice from the Underground. I am the most handsome.
Big Has.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
You know what I'm saying? And Dutch.
You pick me up in an Uber and a PT Cruiser, I'm calling Lyft.
Cause they be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even that good.
Right, we're terrible. Terrible. Tangents all over the place.
And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
Am I allowed to talk?
I think no, not right now.
Shut up, colonizer!
You know what I'm saying? He on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Okay, what Flav was trying to say is, check out Voice from the Underground on your favorite podcast network.
Voice from the Underground.